What is the reason that we all see ourselves procrastinate, at times more than others, of course, and we distract ourselves from those most crucial tasks that we know we should be doing, but somehow are hesitant to engage in? Most importantly, how are we able to overcome or escape this cycle of unproductivity by focusing on tasks that are really not important for the ultimate direction or goal that we're trying to accomplish in the first place? So I remember in around 2010, I was living in Melbourne, Australia. I would drive around in my little small white Toyota Echo and contemplate or think about these crucial tasks that were of such importance on this day, where I had to give to clients or prospects of mine a call that I knew would have been a very difficult and tense situation. And while I was thinking about it, I felt this bellyache, this tension arise, and this almost hesitation, awkwardness come in. And 20 minutes on, driving a little around and keep thinking about it and kind of then forgetting it, I see myself eventually, I don't know, an hour later or so, standing at Office Works, which is a stationery shop which I love in Australia, looking at pencils and notepads, getting excited about, I guess, this sensation of what I could do with them, of being a bit more creative and so on. And matter of fact is I totally ignored these most crucial tasks that was really important for me to execute on. So I really distracted myself and procrastinated on what I really should have done. And this is a great illustration, an example of what people do at times when they procrastinate because of certain fear or them being afraid to engage in certain tasks. So it is fair to say that procrastination really is a state of mind, and this is where it starts and stops. It's a mentality, if you will, of engaging in certain activities in a certain way. And to reframe the conversations here, which is very important, we could also say that procrastination is equal to regaining focus. So let's reframe the conversation. Let's understand how we regain focus in moments where we usually would procrastinate. So people usually procrastinate for one out of three reasons. Reason one, people procrastinate because the task they know they should be performing on is simply not aligned with direction, if you will. For example, if I'm a creative person and I see myself having made decisions in life that meant that I'm sitting right now in a consulting firm dealing with numbers all day long, it is probably fair to say that this is not necessarily conducive to my innate abilities or talents or makeup to perform well. The second reason why people procrastinate is because they see themselves in a deserving state of mind. And when I say deserving, I mean really in a state of mind that influences their powers, their energy negatively, if you will. So for example, you may see yourself having been pulled up at work by your direct report, who gives you criticism on the last project you have been responsible for. And after the meeting, you're thinking about the scenario of what you could have done better, or about how dare your boss judge you this way over and over again. And this obviously puts you in a deserving state of mind at which you are possibly not able to perform the way you could be, and you possibly procrastinate and distract yourselves from tasks that are rather difficult in this moment. And number three, people procrastinate usually because they're simply afraid or scared about executing on certain tasks. So in my example, I was afraid and therefore hesitant and felt that scariness, if you will, come in by imagining having to do with these difficult conversations, right? And we usually distract ourselves and walk away from executing these crucial tasks. So it is really about creating the sense of awareness and acknowledging the fact that you procrastinate in the first place. And whether or not you procrastinate because you are afraid and you're scared, whether or not you procrastinate because you are hurt and upset, or whether or not you procrastinate because the task is simply not made for you and you innately just don't want to do it. And that's all fine. What we all want to understand that there's a solution to each of these examples. So the first one, the task is simply not for you. And we want to acknowledge here that if the task is innately not aligned with who you are, it is important to acknowledge that and to change the circumstances, change the situation. And that sometimes means that we have to leave. There's no good in staying somewhere where you know you don't belong. So change. If you see yourself being upset or hurt from somewhat, receiving bad news at work, for example, change your state of mind. Acknowledge that you are, compromised in that moment and you're thinking over and over again of what your direct upline may have said, but change your state of mind. And you do that by engaging in tasks that uplift you, that inspire you, that refresh and rejuvenate you. For example, for me, it is when I go hiking in the mountains. So what is it for you? Or is it because you are simply afraid and scared to execute and to do certain tasks? And that's okay. We all have these moments at times. But I think as well, it is equally important to then as well reframe the conversation by recognizing that you're just about to learn something. You're just about to grow and evolve, and that is super crucial. I always say that we're not here to eradicate struggle. So many people don't want to struggle. It's not about that. It's about how we struggle and how gracefully we can do that allows us to grow and evolve. So thank you so much for the time. I hope this video has been of value to you, and to really make this count, what I encourage you to do is a little activity. And what I would like you to do is to think about a point of procrastination in your day-to-day business world or life in general where you procrastinate, and choose one that's really important to you. And I would like you to then categorize this into those three different types of procrastination that we talked about. Write it all down, and then the next time you see yourself about to procrastinate on this point that I've chosen, choose differently, and instead to move into a direction that you have planned and that really creates a life to the liking of your dreams.